After working for 3 years on my planet fighting game Sumo Objective, I realized that I wouldn't even buy my own game. Although I do like playing platform fighters, a lot of the games I buy are single player, and Sumo Objective was only worth buying for local multiplayer. In order to have a game that I would want to buy, I had to do one of two things. Option 1, netplay. This could require a complete overhaul of gameplay implementation, having to sync precise physics interactions, client-side prediction for low latency, all for people to call the game dead 2 days after launch. Option 2, a single-player campaign. This would broaden the target market to people who don't usually have anyone to play with. But why not do both? At this point, I'd been working on the game for 3 years, so I didn't want to continually add to the scope. If people want to play online with their friends, they can use Steam Remote Play, where any local multiplayer game can be played online. With all this, I think the single-player campaign was the way to go. Although the core sumo gameplay is present throughout the campaign, I wanted it to consist of many short missions with a variety of objectives. Before I get into the details of the campaign, I'll just mention that there's a demo for the game out right now. I won't spoil everything in this video, but if you want to go in blind, now's your chance. Cargo missions have you transport cargo between planets. In this case, the last of the humans are leaving Earth in a space habitat. You have to throw them from Earth to Mars. This aims to teach grabbing and throwing, the foremost action in the game. In the second mission, your goal is to bounce the habitat through the asteroid belt. You have to bounce the cargo fast enough or at the right angle to get through. Each campaign mission has an optional relic collectible to make them more challenging. You have to encapsulate it within the cargo and complete the mission objective. Collecting a relic allows you to skip a future mission if you get stuck, or just don't like a certain type of mission. In around 4 billion years, the sun will start to expand into a red giant star. This mission has you save Mercury and Venus from getting engulfed by the sun. Safe zone missions have you get all players on your team into the green colored area. This mission gives a sandbox for players to move around in after learning the basics of grab and bounce. The sun gives a bit of time pressure, but there is enough time to explore the game's mechanics. After the sun expands, it shrinks to a white dwarf star. Mercury and Venus have become hostile since you transferred sentience to them. You play as Mars and team up with Earth to kick them out of the shrinking habitable zone. This mission is the first taste of the core sumo gameplay. I decided to make it a team battle, so if players weren't sure what to do, they could see what their teammate was doing and copy them. It's also not exactly a fair fight, since Mercury and Venus don't have moons yet. I decided to make the outside radiation blue, since the ring represents the habitable zone, rather than the usual orange radiation from the edge of the solar system. Instead of a hidden relic, most sumo missions will have a challenge objective. This mission's challenge is to do everything yourself, not letting Earth grab or bounce anyone. I wanted to have a mix of mission objectives interspersed throughout the campaign. The next mission is another safe zone objective. Mars wants to venture into the outer solar system to warn the gas giants of the dying sun. This mission introduces a bomb that you can bounce to explode and use to cross the asteroid belt. It also has a different relic challenge where you have to destroy some space junk with the bomb. Before Mars reaches Jupiter, the humans continue on their journey. You play as Saturn and have to catch the habitat from Jupiter and pass it on to Uranus. Jupiter rejects the message of the dying sun brought by Mars. Your objective is to get Mars out of the gas giant's territory. You can use the asteroid belt to your advantage. In fact, the relic challenge is to win without even touching Mars. I realized this map could work well for a new multiplayer map too, with some adjustments. It turns out Jupiter was wrong. The sun starts to lose influence over the asteroid belt, launching asteroids into deep space. You must venture to the inner solar system to survive the onslaught. For the fourth and final mission objective, you have to clean up the remnants of the asteroid belt. Mercury finds a moon amongst the mess of asteroids in Ceres, a dwarf planet. You can throw or bounce asteroids to destroy them. Each mission has a goal time to beat for 100% completion, meaning you'll have to find a short route and use grab dashing to move around quickly. You can even throw asteroids into each other for a clutch time save. But if you miss, they self-destruct on a timer after being thrown anyway. I added arrows that point to the location of asteroids, so you don't have to search aimlessly. The position of one of the asteroids forces the player to bounce the ring in case they haven't learned to already. For the 10th and final mission in the demo, I wanted to end on a mini boss battle. Asteroids have started orbiting Saturn, giving it some new moons. You can bounce into these asteroids or moon to stun Saturn, aiming to teach parrying. But there's a catch. Venus doesn't have a moon yet, meaning you can't grab. The relic challenge is to win without destroying any asteroids, meaning you'll have to be controlled with your bounces. You can navigate between unlocked missions with the left joystick. Each objective type has its own icon. It shows a screenshot preview of the currently selected mission, completion status, relic information, as well as the goal time, your best time, and total time spent on the mission. The year in which the mission takes place shows in the bottom left corner, and increases exponentially with each subsequent mission. These numbers get out of control, and after around 100 missions, there would be nothing but black holes left in the universe. The campaign is split into 3 chapters, each with around 20 missions. The first chapter is about the solar system, the death of the sun, and what the planets do to survive. The second chapter explores other planetary systems and introduces wormholes. The third chapter focuses on black holes and the end of the universe. You can have any number of campaign profiles. They're ordered by last used date. This allows for mashing the right trigger button from the main menu to play the most recent profile. It also allows for a consistent delete process for resetting a speedrun attempt. The campaign has some helpful features for speedrunning. It keeps track of in-game time, so using the menu isn't part of the run. The timer starts after the initial countdown of a mission, so you can quickly change missions without accruing any time. It then pauses when a mission is complete or restarted. There's an option to keep track of your profile time in the top left, which will be the final time when the run is finished. There's also an option to go to the next mission automatically. It won't save any in-game time, but it would reduce the total amount of time spent in menus. I envisage there to be 4 speedrun categories. Any percent, where the goal is to finish the game as fast as possible. This would be the only category where routing matters, choosing which relics to get and which missions to skip with those relics. All missions where you finish all of the missions. All relics where you complete all of the optional objectives for each mission instead. And 100% where you have to get all goal times as well as all relics. You would generally have to play each mission twice, once to get the goal time and again to get the relic. Though there may be some missions where you can get both the relic and goal time in the same attempt. There's not much reason to include goal times in other categories, since optimally you'd get them in the all missions category anyway. The Steam Next Fest happens every 4 months, where unreleased games are featured with playable demos. I thought it would be a good chance to get some exposure for the game, and finally release something. For my demo, I decided to include a limited multiplayer mode with a single map, where you can only play as Earth with no character customization, as well as tutorials and the 10 campaign missions from this video. With the demo and full game releasing for both Windows and Mac, I made a script that builds all 4 versions of the game with one button using Unity editor scripts. I also made it so that you can share save data from Steam between platforms and keep your save data from the demo into the full version when it comes out. And again, the demo is out right now if you want to give it a try. I'd appreciate any feedback, and I'd love if you could record or stream your playthrough and post a link in the Sumo Discord. There's also a survey you can fill to tell me what you did or didn't like about the demo. In the next devlog, I'll be giving the planets some personality. as well as implementing more campaign missions to prepare for the full release. To be notified of when that happens, wishlist the game on Steam.